Alright guys, so here's what's going on. I cleaned under the hood a little bit. Got the nasty stuff for the most part taken care of. It's been on the battery charger all night long. Head. It's been on the battery charger all night long, and I'm going to go and turn the ignition on and see if I have any response from the electronics on the OBD2. Yeah. So, this ought to be fun. Like I said, it's been charging all night long, so guess what works? The keyless. Woohoo! Something works. Right now, I'm going to put my OBD2 adapter in. Now this is just a generic OBD2 adapter. Nothing special for my build. Everything is in the electronics under the hood. Let me turn it to on. Alright, and I had to go get an old cell phone because I can't, do this on my cell phone at the same time. That just won't work. Oh shit. Sorry for the bad language. Okay. So that happened. And now I remember why. So I bypassed the fuel pump relay back during Hurricane Harvey so I could get fuel out of the car so I could run the generator, and I disconnected the fuel line here, added a hose, and that just sprayed gasoline on everything. Okay. Well, I need to take care of that before I can do anything else. Let me go grab the fire extinguisher. Yeah. Okay, now I have the fire extinguisher. We had a small boo-boo. Had gasoline coming from the hose I used to remove gasoline from the tank during Hurricane Harvey, and yeah, now we have a puddle of gasoline-soaked leaves. Yeah, that's not good. Alright, well, I'm not gonna be stalled too much by this. Let me remove the jumper, which, oh my goodness, been on there for way too long. Alright, now let me remove the fuel pump fuse, and then we'll try and see if the electronics work at all. A little bit sketchy because now there are leaves soaked with gasoline underneath the car. But all I can do is sweep them up in a little bit, and there we go. Yeah, this whole thing is extremely sketchy. Alright. So, let's see what we got here. Fuel pump relay or fuel pump fuse, I don't care, either one. Alright, found the relay. Oh yeah, there are two relays for that because it's 2-speed. I think this will do it. Even if I'm wrong and grab the wrong relay, well, other than the gas that's already there catching on fire, the worst thing that'll happen is the fuel pump will run for like half a second and then turn off. Still unpleasant, but hey, at least I get the data. Let's see if this thing even does anything. Alright, it did let out a little fuel, but not much. I'll clean up the mess here in a little bit. But more importantly than all that, did we get a charge?
Icy conditions.
Okay, it's warning me about icy conditions. Okay. This thing is not behaving. Let me give it a second. Alright, connected with ECU. Okay, that's a good thing. Okay, let me see if you guys can see that. Yep, connected with ECU, okay. Oh, I need to add a display, digital, and make it for manifold pressure. Okay, that was the battery charger making bad noise. This is... You know what? Let me go ahead and put the fuel line where it's supposed to be. It'll only take a second anyway. And by golly, I don't like fires. This is what happens when you try and do things live. Bad things happen. Because you're a dumbass. Alright, if you're just getting here, ow! This is gasoline. Gasoline is flammable and makes a mess. This is Harlan. Harlan does very dumb things sometimes. Alright. So the gasoline has mostly soaked the leaves, so it hasn't gone too far and made too much of a mess. That'll work out great. Okay, now the fuel line is reattached like it should have been in the first place. Now everything should be okay as long as none of the dry leaves catch on fire. They're not dry anymore though, they're soaked in gasoline. That's not dry. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, I'm not hearing any... What in the world is that? I'm not even sure what that noise is. Okay. Alright, now, back to this, reconnected. Let me get the display up for what I added. Manifold pressure. Okay. I probably screwed up the math. Let me check my equation because that's not, it's not 800. Oh, I know what it is. I can fix this. All right. I had to reload everything onto here because the previous tablet got lost. Probably somewhere in the house. But the good news is that zoom in. The good news is that I have everything I need. I just need to change the values. Adapter settings. Okay, no, that's not the right one. And it is hot. Let's see. Extra PID sensors. All right, edit. All right. If you guys can see this, the equation's wrong because I swapped A and B. The basic thing is I'm hijacking the CAN bus and the OBD2 calls to inject my own information in there. I've been doing that for a while. I'm just seeing if my hardware works at this point because it got rained on and hasn't been used in a year. Alright, that all looks good. Still zoomed in too far. Sorry about that. Alright, let's go back to real-time information, see what happens. Okay. Well, it is not behaving, but it is giving a signal. This is good. This means that my electronics are actually working. Oh, I should probably turn the ignition off because I'll spill gas. That'd be a good idea. All right, so the good news is I think everything is working. Kind of iffy. I can't even see what's turning on down here. Ignition back on, because why not? Oh, don't worry, guys. If you were actually here with me, this wouldn't be this would be just about the same. Now let's see what we got going over here. All right. Oh, okay. Can you guys see that? You definitely can't smell it. If you had smell-o-vision, you'd smell the gasoline. But, oh, okay. So let me see if I can shield that. What we have going on is we have the Teensy that does CAN network calls and also controls the, well, everything. We have the Arduino, and this does all the analog in and analog out. That controls the injectors, not the fuel injectors, but the water injector, as well as the pulse width modulation to control the blow-off valve. We got the high volt supply there. That's for ion sensing. The ion sensing goes to feed that guy for knock detection. Now, this is only in this current version. So yeah, in theory, this should work. We will see. All right. So, got the ignition on. Everything is on. Let me try and reconnect one more time. Ooh, I know. Let me see if I can adjust this. I'm gonna reset this one more time and see if I can get the proper value for manifold pressure. No promises, but I'd really like to see that just to prove that it's working. Oh, hey, I can actually do that. Oh, that's so much better and almost clear. All right, so settings. Okay. Extra PID sensors. Oh, I changed it before, but it didn't actually change anything. Maybe I have to hit apply or something. All right, B. And so when you send things on OBD2 or the CAN bus, it ends up in 0 to 255 values. So if you have something more complex than that, you have to break it up into two parts. So, okay. Okay, this is actually correct. That's showing actual manifold pressure, which is approximately 0. I mean, the gauge is not, or the sensor is not exactly, you know, negative 15 to 30. So, yeah. So this is not a perfect equation. I remember I had a better one beforehand, so I'm gonna have to go back through the calibration tables and figure that out. But that is actually what it's supposed to be reading. I was looking through the code. I had to find these PIDs in my code because, you know, the old device was lost. But this one code has both manifold pressure and boost pressure. The A value, the B value, the C value, and the D value. I only have A and B on here, but this means that, well, at least the CAN side of it is working. That's a good sign. I vaguely remember cleaning off this stuff after all the rain and other problems happened. However, it still looks messy, and you know, I'm kind of wondering if that was some sort of wish fulfillment dream that I had, because all the other stuff that was going on. So, I guess we ought to wrap this up. It's getting a little long. There we go. All right, so, long story short, I cleaned a bunch of the leaves out, I charged the battery, I spilled a whole bunch of gasoline on the engine, which I don't recommend, and that I blame on Hurricane Harvey and having to use this for fuel for the generator. And the electronics package actually still works, at least partially. I'm not sure about the ignition coils, I'm not sure if it'll start and run. There's also another possibility, because the last time I had this it didn't run. The possibility is, let me show you. This guy. The barometric sensor I knew was bad because I traded it with the one in the white car, and I got a replacement, but I don't think I ever put it in. So, I think if I go and connect that barometric sensor up, this thing will start and run. Well, after I connect the intake manifold and wait for the gasoline to, you know, evaporate. But I think this thing will actually start and run. I might even have it running today, assuming that it doesn't catch on fire. Right now, the gasoline's the biggest concern on that. So, yeah. Alright, guys. Long story short, if you like this video, hit like. If you want to see more like it, hit subscribe. The only way you're going to catch my live streaming is by subscribing. And, you know, leave comments down below. Your comments help even if they're critical because, you know, I'm a critical person and that's what happens. So anyway, guys, until next time, keep on voiding warranties.